Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to be covering Cisco Packet Tracer 9.3.2.12, which should look a bit like this. The scenario or the background on this is that in this network we have our PCs reaching out to servers on the internet, and so we want to start blocking specific services with an ACL on our router. So we're going to block HTTP and HTTPS access for PC1, we're going to block FTP access for PC2, and we're going to block ping or icmp access from PC3. Since those servers are not directly under our control, we don't have a subnet mask for them or a network address or anything like that. All we have is their IP address. We're going to configure all this for the local to block it for the PC specifically. So to begin, we'll jump into our router's command line interface, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see. Try to keep my addressing table over here. And we're going to want to start by getting to the global configuration mode and creating our extended ACL. I'm just going to call it ACL for this. And then we want to start by denying PC1 access to server 1 for HTTP. And then we'll give the same command but block HTTPS. And then we want to go back and do the same thing for server 2. And so that way PC1 cannot access the web pages for either server. Next thing we want to do is to deny PC2 access to the FTP services. So we'll go deny TCP host computer 2's IP address. We want to block him from reaching both servers for port 21. And then the last thing that we want to do is deny PC3 from reaching either server for pinging icmp there. So set it for server 1 and then for server 2. By default, the access control list will deny all traffic that does not match a specific rule, and all of our rules are set to deny, so we're literally denying everything right now. We want to allow anything that's not expressly prohibited across our router, so we need to give the permit IP any command. And so that should have completed building up our ACL. You can check your results to verify that. You should be sitting at 80%. The last thing that we want to do for this packet tracer is to set that access list on the interface that connects to the switch, which is G00. Kind of hard to see there. And when we want to give it the command IP access group ACL in. And we should be sitting at 100%. You can check your results and verify that. The instructions do say to test access. So we're going to start with PC1. We'll go into the web browser, and we will just browse directly to server 1. And it'll automatically put the HTTP in there, which should be port 80. And so that definitely didn't work. Then we'll try HTTPS. And it didn't clear that, but it should also fail. I think we can refresh that by closing it and reopening it. Then we'll try HTTPS again. Alright, so it can't connect there either. And we'll try HTTP to server 2. That should also time out. And then we will do HTTPS to server 2. And this should also time out. So this shows that PC1 no longer has any kind of web access to the websites on those servers. The next thing we want to do is to check FTP. So PC1 should still have FTP access to both servers. And there we are. Username and password are both Cisco, lowercase. And so we can get into server 1 for FTP. And we can get into server 2 for FTP on PC1. So the next thing we want to do is to ping. You can go in and do a command prompt ping. I'm just going to do a simple PDU. And we're successful, so we can ping to server 1 and to server 2. And then the next step is to do all the same stuff with PC2. So we're going to start by trying to get to the web addresses. So there's HTTP for server 1, and we can get there, which is good. We should be able to. HTTPS should also be able to get there. If it doesn't refresh, you can't tell. So we'll go out and come back in. And there we are. Got one more to do. Alright, so it looks like we're good. Full web access to those servers. I kind of did them out of order. Next we want to see if we have FTP access. And this should be denied on PC2. So we'll try it to the other server as well. And probably get shot down again, which it should. We set our ACL to block that coming from PC2. Alright. And then the last thing that we want to do for PC2 is to ping across to both servers. Like so. And then we need to move on to PC3 and do the same thing. So we'll start going to the web browsers. Start with server 1, HTTP, and it can make it there. Server 1, HTTPS. Good. Server 2, HTTP, and server 2, HTTPS. So it has full web access. Next, we want to test our FTP access. Again, username and password are Cisco, and he should be able to get in. So then we'll check to the other server, and we're in. So FTP is fully operational there, and the last thing we want to do is to ping from PC3 to the servers, and these should fail because of the way we set it up on our ACL to block that coming from PC3. Run it again just to make sure, and there it is. Looks like that pretty much covers everything for this packet tracer. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I'll see you all in my next video.